What's up, everybody? My name is Tam, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel because it is difficult to find once you lose it, and you may never find it again. So hit the subscribe button now. And today we're going to talk about assertiveness versus narcissism. Can I make a confession here? And some people aren't going to like this, but I don't like narcissists, and sometimes I don't like people who lead with assertiveness. Yet we need assertive people in our society. And the plus side of an assertive person is you know where they stand. There's no wavering. There's no questioning. You know what they like. You know what they dislike. And there's something awesome about that. But as an ENFJ, I tend to like tact. I tend to feel more comfortable with tact when they are military, straightforward, and saying it like it is. I just don't find the warmth or the attractiveness or the, hey, like, let's hang out together. Like, let's have a great conversation. It's like the whole time you feel like you're supposed to be scared when you're having this conversation with them. So I find people who just lead with assertiveness a little off-putting, but please forgive me. I usually lie about those such things. See how unassertive I am? But I guess I'm being assertive now. So anyway, I digress. Let's start again. Have you ever met someone who speaks boldly, so boldly that you're often offended by the way that they speak to you? We have to keep in mind that we are living in a very narcissistic driven world, and we're living in a world in which people love the word narcissism. They put the word narcissism on anyone that they break up with, that they get a divorce from, that they just happen to dislike. You don't have to like everybody. And if you dislike someone, that doesn't mean that they're a narcissist. But there are a group of bold people. And when you look at the Enneagram and you look at how many people are the majority of each Enneagram, the majority of people, so I've seen, they fit the category of assertiveness on the Enneagram, which is Enneagram 8, the asserter. More people believe that they are the asserter than any other type. So that means that we're going to bump into a lot of people who are very like, I'm in control. So when you look at the definition of assertiveness, it is the quality of being self-assured and confident without being aggressive to defend a right point of view or a relative statement. It's definitely a quality that I admire to one degree. There have definitely been some Enneagram 8 asserters who they also call the challenger, who I have wondered, are they narcissists? Are they narcissists or are they just the asserter? Sometimes it can get a little confusing for me, but that might just be my defense mechanism as an ENFJ who likes harmony. So just for the fun of it, let's look at the description of the Enneagram 8 and see if that also describes a narcissist. It says 8s are self-confident, strong, and assertive, protective, resourceful, straight-talking, and decisive, but can also be egocentric and domineering. 8s feel they must control their environment, especially people, sometimes becoming confrontational and intimidating. 8s typically have problems with their tempers and with allowing themselves to be vulnerable. At their best, they're self-mastering. They use their strength to improve others' lives, becoming heroic, magnanimous, and inspiring. And this is coming from the Enneagram Institute. So I definitely heard a few little red flags in there. What do you think? Here's the thing about the Enneagram. It kind of goes from healthy to unhealthy. And when you start dipping into them unhealthy little areas, then sometimes you can dip into some disorders, right? So Enneagram 6 can start dipping into some borderline personality disorder. So can Enneagram 4, which I claim. I don't claim borderline, but I think probably Enneagram 8, when the unhealthier you go, the more you can start dipping into some narcissism. So it's kind of a yes and no answer. I think when people look at the Enneagram, for the most part, they're looking at the healthier version or the mediocre version of their human basic fears, which for Enneagram 8 is being controlled by others. Are narcissists afraid of being controlled by others? Their basic desire, which is to protect themselves, to be in control of their own life and destiny. I think narcissists could have some of that. So on a positive note, I have seen Enneagram 8s who have helped their community to a great degree, because they said a strength is to improve others' lives. I've seen them absolutely do that to a degree that is unmatched, that is amazing, that is touching, that is very loving and very caring. So that isn't a narcissistic trait or quality, although a narcissist could do those things to manipulate people, or because they're chronically bored, or because they just need something to do to turn that inner anxiety, because some of them they overthink. They can almost have some OCD type traits that they want to turn off. The Enneagram 8 has a pure place for giving and doing for others, whereas the narcissists, a lot of times that is their language, is to give, because they're not good at really feeling empathy or compassion, so they can try to make up for it by giving or doing for others, or it could also be to make people feel indebted to them. Now, some of the things that they said about Enneagram 8, narcissists can be confrontational and they can be intimidating. I know a lot of people who are super terrified of the narcissist, and the narcissist just runs rings around them. So they do have that in common. Narcissists can be extremely intimidating. They can have a problem with their tempers also, right? Now, just because you have a temper problem does not mean that you are a narcissist. It could just mean you have a hot temper. You're quick thinking. You don't have patience. It's something that a person would need to work on, but narcissists can definitely be that way. Narcissists can be straight talking, just like Enneagram 8s. They're straight talking, like they don't like weakness. So sometimes if they feel like somebody is weak, they don't like it. Enneagram 8 is described as strong and assertive. I think narcissists may come across strong and assertive, but it could also be because they're using that to bully people into meeting their needs. I don't think the Enneagram 8 person is being assertive in order to use and abuse people or to meet their own needs. I think they are strong enough to meet their own needs and not be trying to break someone down or force someone to comply or let me use you, let me abuse you. So that's where I think the two would differ. Let's put Enneagram 8 and the narcissist in a room together. What is driving their need for assertiveness? Assertive Enneagram is going to stand up against the narcissist. They're not going to let the narcissist bully them. They're going to stand up straight and they're going to let them know, this is how I feel. You're not taking advantage of me. Is that a narcissist motive to not be taken advantage of either? Narcissists oftentimes grew up in situations where they had to be an adult far too young and far too early. So you are going to develop some assertiveness skill. There again, we have a similar thing happening. The asserter also probably had some bullies in their lives. I know P. Diddy's mom told him, you're not coming back in this house until you beat that boy up who just hit you. And she locked the door. And from that day on, he learned how to fight and stand up for himself. I've heard narcissists say that they were picked on and that they were bullied and they were mistreated. And so they learned how to stand up for themselves. when they are actually projecting. They're the ones doing the bullying. They feel picked on when someone stands up to them. Oh, you're bullying me. No, you were bullying first, but they don't take ownership. I think the asserter definitely can take ownership for their mistakes. Yes, they can defend themselves, but they can also take ownership of, I'm sorry. There was somebody that I thought was a narcissist, but I heard him actually say, I apologize. I'm sorry if I misunderstood you. So a narcissist, they're going to be harder pressed to apologize. So let's look at these 5 characteristics of assertive behavior and see if they fit narcissism. They have confidence in themselves. I think narcissists have a pseudo plastic confidence. Not to say that they can't really feel confident sometimes, but there's such a nastiness and an ugliness to them that it almost erases confidence in its truest form. An assertive person respects the opinions of others. I don't know if I could say that about a narcissist. Assertive people have the ability to validate others' feelings. I definitely think Enneagram 8s can do that. I think narcissists, healthier versions of narcissists, can do that, but there are going to be times when they don't. They're so busy trying to invalidate someone, put them down, break them down. I don't think that's the asserter's motive. I think they can coast and be fine. It's just when they need to make a point or a statement or be decisive, then you see the straightforwardness come forward, but it's not punitive like a narcissist would be. Assertive individuals are good listeners. Is a narcissist a good listener? Sometimes they're taking notes so they can beat you over the head later with something that you said. So they can be good listeners for that matter. And it also doesn't mean that they give a care. An assertive person, they help their communities. They actually do care about others and have a consciousness and will give the shirt off their backs to people or pay for people's rent or just do really kind things. So they don't like weakness, but that doesn't mean that they don't care or that they don't have a conscience or that they don't have compassion. And then the last characteristics of an assertive person is problem solving and compromise. They can compromise because a strong person can compromise. A narcissist might have difficulty because they split, they think in black and white. So compromising might be out of the picture. It's me, give me everything I need. An assertive person doesn't need to be one-sided, one-noted. It's all about me. What's the point of that? That starts to become a weakness. And what an assertive person doesn't want to be is weak. So I just basically want you to kind of think about this before we jump into you're a narcissist. You could just simply have an asserter on your hand. So I'm curious, let us know in the comments if you've ever been confused about somebody. Like they're so abrupt and abrasive that you are like, okay, are they a narcissist? Not necessarily. So if you want more information or you're struggling with a difficult person, period, check out my book, The Workplace NaRCISSiST, because we meet these people a lot of times at work because it's a narcissist's playground. They have all these people at their disposal to bully, berate, get you to do your work for me, do my work for me type people. So check out my book. It will help you to survive them better. If you're having romantic issues, check out my book, Flip the Script on Love, so that you can find the help that you need there. And be sure to like the video, and I'll see you later. Let me know if there's a specific video that you want me to do, and I might just do it. See you next time. Bye, my friends.